In the previous two lectures, guys, you'll learn how to trim a clip from the in and out point, be it in the selection mode or the trim mode. Now, imagine that you don't know very well the clip and you're trying to find out what's beyond the in point and what's beyond the out point on the left and right, of course. Well, if you use the trim mode, there will be a lot of scrubbing left and right to be able to determine the content of the clip. Well, there is a better way. Is to edit your clip inside the source monitor. First of all, let's go to two monitors view, and I have nothing in the source monitor. I want to bring up this clip inside the media pool. So I will right click and go find in media pool. If I double click the clip in the media pool, it will open, and of course I can see the name of the clip over here, .mp4. If you go to the list view, it's the exact name here. If I edit this clip, I change the in point and the out point, you notice there is nothing happening in the timeline. This is because the clip in the media pool is totally different from the clip in the timeline, logically different. Well, you can imagine this. This clip could be like 2 minutes long, and you take several pieces of it using the in and out point and then dropping them in the timeline. Then you have several instances of the same clip from the media pool inside the timeline, and logically whatever is inside the timeline is not like the one inside the media pool. So you need to edit the clip from the timeline inside the source monitor. The way to do that is to double click. Here you are. Now, how do you know you're editing the one in the timeline and not in the source monitor? Well, look at the name. Scroll down the name here, and you will notice the top one, the one we are viewing now, has the first movie at the end. First movie being the name of the timeline. So actually you are editing this clip .mp4 in the timeline. The previous one was just this clip from the media pool. Let's select it, and we know now we are editing the one in the timeline. Let's select the one in the timeline also, and let's start changing the in and out points. Remember, we are in selection mode. If I change the in point, you notice what's happening in the timeline. We are also changing the in point in the timeline. We are editing this inside the source monitor. Cool. We can change the out point. But now all these gaps are starting to appear in the selection mode, and we have to go back and, edit these gaps and delete them. Let's undo all this. So we are back to the old in and out points, and we go for the trim mode. Now look how nice it is. If you select the in point and go to the right, you notice what's happening in the timeline. It's also ripple editing, which is so convenient and it's very precise. You notice, guys? So I'm gonna set the in point just over here. That would be cool. I can play from in and out point here. That will be Alt or Option on the Mac and forward slash. Pretty cool. Let's put the looping on and see exactly what we're doing. Not bad. Now, I would like to set the out point. I'm going to use the playhead of the source monitor and say, okay, set it over here. I can use left and right arrow. You remember that. Okay, just over here. And I press O. Notice in the timeline, it's ripple editing on all the selected tracks. And this is very convenient now. You just bring it in the source monitor and start editing. When do I personally use this method? When I'm lazy, or when I've forgotten what's inside the clip. And I need okay, where is this? I want this scene or the other scene or stories like this. Now notice here, you cannot click and drag and drop, okay? That will not be possible. You're not using a clip from the media pool. You are editing this clip in the timeline. So the method I showed you now is about editing a clip from the timeline inside the source monitor. Just double click on it and change the in and out points the way you like. And if you are in the trim mode, it will ripple on all the selected tracks. Thank you for listening. I will see you in the next lecture.